Hey guys, so I'm back with another Alchemy Stars video, and we actually have more information about the collab. We finally got Joker's initial information, so we do have his character art. This is his original form, and this is the image for his Ascension art. So this actually looks really good as well, just like the other art. He is going to be a 6-star. The reason they did Joker last is because he's the main character, and they usually work backwards for all of these events. So they'll go from the least rare to the most rare. And then for the collabs, they usually work backwards to the main character. So it's not shocking that they did Joker last. You know, Joker's the one that they typically use in gacha games as the collab character and typically alongside other characters. So it's not surprising that he was shown last. So as a 6-star, they don't have a statement on here, but it'll basically be the same thing, most likely. You'll have to recruit Joker from one of the recruitment banners, so you could look forward to that. So they actually put out some information for the event itself. A new system arrives, so they put in a new system for this collab in particular. The system is basically promoting you to use these Persona 5 characters. They did have something like that with the Dragon Maid collab characters as well, where they wanted to promote you using all of those characters together, but the event itself for Dragon Maid didn't make you do that. I believe that this particular event is going to. So maximize the power of the Aurorians for your battles. They're really promoting you into using all of these Persona 5 characters together so that you could stack the weakness status. And we have skill stacking and weakness status. And this is really promoting you into using all of the Persona 5 characters or a bunch of these characters together. Use the special skills to see the effects of the original Persona 5 battle animations. The key to this lies in the stacking and the weak status. Basically, they're talking about this new system that they put in. So let's read through that. So this is going to be the new system that they're putting in for the new Persona collab. Skill stacking and the weakness status. Exploiting weaknesses stacking and weak status. So all Persona 5 Aurorian skills can add or change the stacking of the special effect on enemies. When the number of stacks reaches 100, the target enemy will automatically enter the weak status. Likewise, when an enemy enters the weak status, the number of stacks will be changed to 100. So basically, the more of these characters you have on your team, the easier it's going to be to get the 100 stacks needed for the enemy to enter the weak status. This is basically meant to promote you into not only using these characters, but also trying to summon for some of these characters as well. Of course, you will be getting some free characters. It won't be too much of a problem to use multiple of these. You should at least innately have 2 Persona 5 characters to use. You'll get Mona for free, and then you get to pick one of the 5-star characters out of the box. So special skill info. Bringing any Persona 5 Aurorian of the current collaboration campaign into the stage can trigger the special skill. A dedicated skill button with its own cooldown has been designed for the players. The skill deals damage to all enemies. The exact damage depends on the number of stacks of exploiting weaknesses on enemies, whether the enemy is in weak status, and the number of Persona 5 Aurorians deployed. Basically, the damage dealt is going to be higher if you have more of these Persona 5 characters on your team. Both exploiting weaknesses stacks and weak status of all enemies on the field will be effective continuously. When special skill ends, all enemies' weak status will be cleared. So basically, once you use this special skill, the weak status is going to be wiped, and then you'll have to redo all of the stacks that you did on the enemy. Performance of the special skill will reproduce the classic all-out attack animation from the original Persona 5 game, which is the main attraction for players and the inspiration for the design. So that'll be interesting to see, the special animations. Hopefully they really tested this out thoroughly and there's no lag with the animations, but this is going to be very interesting. And this particular event seems to be promoting you into summoning for these characters more than the Dragon Maid collab was, because you didn't really need the Dragon Maid collab characters. This collab event seems to be tailored for these Persona 5 characters, but as I said, you will be getting 2 Persona 5 characters innately for free, one out of the box that they're giving, and Mona, who we're getting for free. With that said, we actually have information for Mona. I was quite surprised because Mona's a 5-star character instead of being a 4-star character. So let's look through Mona's skill kit. So Mona is a 5-star character and a forest attribute sniper. And let's take a look at the skills. And honestly, after going through all of the collab event information, it shouldn't be shocking how Mona's skills basically are laid out. So the active skill is a 3-turn cooldown and is a preemptive strike. Again, these previews for the characters are at max limit break, so just keep that in mind. We'll probably have ways to max limit break Mona through the event, though. So for the active skill, Mona enters a battle with its special skill, selects a tile, and deals 240% damage to tiles along the way, and on adjacent tiles. Inflicts 5 stacks of exploit weakness to each enemy hit. Thunder enemies receive 10 stacks instead. So obviously, since Mona is a forest unit, more stacks will be applied to thunder enemies than just enemies of any other element. So for special skill, deals damage to all enemies according to the number of Persona 5 collaboration characters deployed. So more damage will be dealt if you have more of the Persona 5 characters on your team with Mona. Deals more damage to enemies with weak status and dispels all weak status. When all enemies have weak status, a special skill displayed is triggered. So for this first part, deals more damage to enemies with weak status and dispels all weak status. Once you use this, the weak status is going to be cleared and you'll have to restack onto the enemies. And then the special skill is what we were talking about with this information, performance of the special skill. You'll see the animation for the character from the original Persona 5. Exploit weakness. Enter weak status after gaining 100 stacks of exploit weakness. So you'll get to a weak status once you gain 100 stacks. So obviously, based on the first part, you'll be able to reach the 100 stacks much easier when you're using Mona against thunder enemies, because you're going to be getting 10 stacks instead of 5 with the active skill. You will get stacks from the chain combo as well, so we can look at that. So the chain combo goes from 155% damage all the way to 170% damage, depending on the size of the combo chain. And it also increases the number of enemies that you'll be hitting. The number of stacks will also increase depending on how large the chain is. So for a 4-chain combo, it'll attack 2 of the nearest enemies within 3 surrounding clusters and inflicts 1 stack of exploit weakness. And thunder enemies will receive 3. For a 9-chain combo, it'll hit 3 of the nearest enemies within the 3 surrounding clusters and inflicts 2 stacks of exploit weakness and 4 stacks on thunder enemies. And for a 13-chain combo, it'll hit 4 of the nearest enemies within 3 surrounding clusters and inflicts 3 stacks of exploit weakness and 5 stacks instead if the enemies are thunder. So you can get a lot of these exploit weakness stacks from the chain combo skill. And then your active skill can help you add on to the number of stacks that you're doing from your chain combos. Of course, with the preemptive strike, you'll be able to add 10 stacks right from the onset if the enemies are thunder, and 5 if the enemies are any other element. So you can put yourself in a decent position to actually put on a lot of stacks. Of course, it's going to be way easier to put on stacks of weakness if you're using more than just one Persona 5 character, because the stacks are going to add up quickly, because I'm guessing every single one of these characters has this exploit weakness stacks in their skill kits. So having a bunch of these characters on your team will likely get to 100 really quickly. And for the equipment skill, when Mona inflicts exploit weakness stacks on enemies, there's a 30% chance of doubling the effect and a 1% chance of inflicting weak status. Even the equipment skill is going to help you put on more stacks on the enemy. Of course, there's a 30% chance, so it's not going to happen all the time, but there's still the chance of doing that, which is going to help expedite the process of putting 100 stacks on the enemy. Each normal attack inflicts 1 stack of exploit weakness. Thunder enemies receive 2 stacks instead. So you'll get more stacks from just normal attacks. You don't have to do a chain combo skill or use the active skill. You can get some stacks also from just normal attacks. When Mona first changes from team member to captain during battle, Mona gains 20% increased normal attack damage in this round. So they also put the team swapping skill in Mona's kit. So if you switch from Mona just being on the team to making Mona the captain, Mona will have a 20% increase to normal attack damage for that round. So Mona's actually a very good free character for this particular event. especially since this event is geared towards exploiting weakness stacking. And we can only hope that the collab event isn't difficult and that just having Mona and the free character you get from the box will be sufficient enough to beat everything on these stages. Of course, you'll have to level up these characters, so if they're not leveled up, that could be a barrier, but they seem to have made Mona a very good free unit for being able to do this particular event, which is going to have this new system. Really interesting. I can't wait to see what the other characters are like. And yeah, that's going to be it for this one, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.